Okay.
Yeah.
2, 1, you're on the air.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all at home for watching this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. This is our organizational meeting this evening, and tonight's date is Wednesday, January 6th of 2021. Before we get started with the meeting, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, as we always do. So would everybody please rise? And Councilman Shannon, would you lead us tonight?
Sure. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to take a moment of silence, just remember our servicemen and women, past and present, who fought so hard for our country and for our freedom. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
Okay, once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, as I stated earlier, it's our organizational meeting. This is the first meeting of the year. So tonight's agenda has 37 agenda items on it that we'll be reading and taking action on. I'll be reading tonight as well because of the amount of resolutions that there are. And for the record, all town board members are present with us this evening. Happy New Year, Town Board. And our town clerk, Ann Spofford, is here as well. And Greg Fulchetti, our town council, is with us here tonight also. So as I said, we have 37 resolutions. The first resolution is a resolution setting seating order of the town board members. That's resolution number 1. Councilman Shannon, would you read that, please?
Resolved that the town board members will be seated as follows, left to right. Facing the dais, Robert Shannell, Suzanne McDonough, Kenneth Schmidt, Michael Borelli, and Frank Lombardi. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilman Shannon, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All board members in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, real quick, though, so the public's not confused why I'm here and Frank is there. When Frank was elected, I gave him the courtesy of sitting in my seat and taking my vote for his, out of respect to his time served on the board. But with COVID, we're all so spread out, I felt like I was in Siberia. And Frank was gracious enough to give me the seat back, hopefully until we're all inoculated. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, we just, like I said, it was nice gracious enough for Mike to last year to let me have the seat back there when we were all 5 up there. There's a lot of neighboring towns that are still doing their meetings virtually, so I had no issue with switching with Mike. My voting order stays the same, which recognizes my tenure to the town board. If we do go back to a time that all 5 of us are back on the podium, then Mike and I have already discussed it. I'll go back to my original seat. Mike will come back to here, and that'll be that. So it's fine. It's nice perspective. I get to stretch out a little bit more.
Yeah, that's fine. And you know, we honored Councilman Borelli's request to be moved back up on the dais because this is where he should be. This is where he should have been. And when we all spread out, social distancing due to COVID, you know, we had to move down onto the floor. And Mike was sitting on the end, and Mike had gone down to the floor. But in respect to Mike and procedurally, he should be up here on the dais to my left. So that's what we went ahead and did. And Mike and Frank explained that. And hopefully at some point in the near future, we'll all be back up here. Hopefully. Let's pray, and let's hope that everybody gets vaccinated soon and put this horrible pandemic behind us. Okay, next resolution number 2 is a resolution setting roll call voting order for town board members. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 2?
It resolved that the roll call voting order of the town board shall be as follows. Robert Shannell, Michael Borelli, Frank Lombardi, Suzanne McDonough, Kenneth Schmidt. I offer this resolution as offered.
Second.
As read.
Okay, offered by Councilwoman McDonough, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. All board members in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Carries 5-0. Okay, next resolution, number 3, is a resolution establishing dates, time, and location of town board meetings and work sessions. Resolved that all regular meetings of the town board of the town of Carmel shall be held on the first and third Wednesdays of each month, commencing Wednesday, January 20th, 2021, and with the exception of the month of September, where the voting meeting shall be held on Thursday, September 16th, instead of Wednesday, September 15th, at the Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, at 7 p.m. Be it further resolved that all work sessions of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel shall be held on the second and third Wednesdays of each month, commencing Wednesday, January 13th, 2021. Work sessions scheduled for the third Wednesdays shall commence immediately following voting meetings, and with the exception of the fifth Wednesdays, where there shall be no meetings, and with the exception of the month of September, where the work sessions shall be held on Thursday, September 16th, instead of Wednesday, September 15th, and Tuesday, November 23rd, instead of Wednesday, November 24th. In the month of December, when no meetings shall be held on the fourth Wednesday, all work sessions shall be held at the Town of Carmel Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, at 7 p.m., with the exception of Wednesday, April 28th, 2021, which shall be held in the Hamlet of Carmel at the Carmel Fire Department on Vink Drive in Carmel, New York, at 7 p.m. So if you notice, with the months and the dates and the Wednesdays, we are doubling up a work session. It's the third Wednesday of the month. The reason that we're doubling up our meetings is so to allow the planning board to hold 2 planning board meetings per month. So they will meet on the fourth Wednesday, Greg? Second Wednesday.
It will be on the fourth Wednesday and the second Tuesday.
Yeah,
Second Thursday.
yeah, fourth
Thursdays will be.
fourth Wednesday and second Thursday.
Thursdays will be ECB planning, ECB zoning. So they'll be meeting every Thursday.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Right. So that'll be in effect until COVID is behind us and we can all schedule our meetings as such where, we can go back to having 4 meetings per month, the first, second, third, fourth Wednesdays of the month. But for right now, the planning board needs to meet, and they can't meet in the smaller section of back of the room because they're too close. Social distancing couldn't be accomplished by that. So they need to meet here up on the dais and to allow them to meet twice a month. So that's why we're doubling up our meetings once a month on that third Wednesday. Okay, I offer the resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Councilman Borelli. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No, it carries 5-0. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 4, is a resolution setting rules of order for town board meetings. Councilman Borelli, would you read 4, please?
Resolved that the rules of order for town board meetings shall be Robert's Rules of Order newly revised. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Mike, Frank?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? No opposed, carries 5-0. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 5, is a resolution appointing police commissioners. Councilman Lombardi, would you read 5, please?
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints all members of the Town Board to serve as the Board of Police Commissioners for the year 2021. I offer the resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, offered by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All town board members in favor of this?
Aye.
Yes? All right, so 5 yeses and no opposed. Okay, next resolution, number 6, is a resolution designating official newspapers of the town. Councilman Shano, would you read 6, please?
Resolved that the town board of the town of Carmel designates the Putnam County Courier and the Mahopac News as the official newspapers of the town of Carmel for the year 2021, and the unit rates referenced in the proposals filed in the office of the town clerk, and be it further resolved that in those situations where the town is required by law to publish in a daily newspaper, the Journal News is hereby designated as the daily newspaper in which publication shall be made. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, no opposed. 5 carries 5-0. Next resolution, number 7, is a resolution designating official depositories. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 7?
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby designates any commercial bank authorized to do business in the state of New York as an official depository for Town of Carmel funds and investments, provided all deposits are properly collateralized in accordance with the New York State law, and hereby authorizes the town supervisor to deposit funds in any authorized depository for fiscal year 2021 in order to obtain the maximum rate of interest on said deposits. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilwoman McDonough, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Can I get a roll call vote on this, please?
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 8, is a resolution designating insurance agent. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints the Brown and Brown of New York Incorporated, DBA Spain Agency, 625 Route 6, Mahopac, New York, as insurance agents and brokers of record for the Town of Carmel for the year 2021. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Shannell. Do we need a roll call on this, Ann?
I would do it.
A roll call vote, please.
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
No. The reason being is, it's just misleading to the public. The reason why we're naming them the agents for the year is because they won the bid last year. But any insurance companies out there, I don't want them to feel that the fact that there are designated insurance agent stops them from bidding. This is this year's bid, last year's bid for this year's time. So that's the only reason why I'm voting no. Otherwise, they do a great job too.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes. No, I think,
Did I do
you
Councilman?
know, you got to go to
You
Frank.
threw me because I'm sitting over here.
I'm sorry. Councilman Lombardi.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carries 4 yes and 1 no. Okay, next resolution, number 9, is a resolution authorizing petty cash funds for fiscal year 2021. Councilman Borelli, would you read 9?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the establishment of petty cash funds in the following departments at the following amounts for fiscal year 2021. The following are all 200. Supervisor, Justice Court, Recreation, Town Clerk, Police Chief, Superintendent of Highways. Building Maintenance is 100, and the Receiver of Taxes is 500. We offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 10, is a resolution setting mileage rate for fiscal year 2021. Councilman Borelli, Councilman Lombardi, would you read 10, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby establishes the mileage reimbursement rate for 2021 at the IRS rate for 2021. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Borelli and Councilman Shannell. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 11, is a resolution setting rates for 2021 Highway Department temporary help. Councilman Shannell, would you read 11, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby sets the following rates for Highway Department temporary help for fiscal year 2021. Private plowers, minimum 2,500 series truck, 1-ton truck with plow, $60 an hour. Drivers, labor only in town trucks, $30 an hour. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 12, is a resolution designating council members as liaisons to special committees. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 12, please?
Yes, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby designates the following town council members as liaisons for the following purposes. Councilman Michael Borelli, liaison to Police Department, Highway Department, Special Legal Counsel, other governmental agencies including county, state, and school districts, and libraries, Lake Park Districts Advisory Boards, Cassie, Seacourt, Tea Kettle, Spout, and Mahopac, townwide garbage districts. Councilwoman Suzanne McDonough, liaison to Planning Board, Recreation, Cable TV Advisory Board, other governmental agencies including county, state, and school districts, liaison to the Hamlet of Carmel Civic Association and the local chambers of commerce and townwide garbage districts. Councilman Frank Lombardi, liaison to Highway Department, Recreation, and Special Legal Counsel, other governmental agencies including county, state, and school districts, and libraries, all administrative boards to include planning, zoning, ECB, ethics board, and libraries, and all Lake Park District advisory boards, Cassie, Seacourt, Tea Kettle, Spout, and Mahopac. Councilman Robert Chanel. Liaison to Police Department, Administrative Boards to include Zoning, ECB, and Ethics Board. Liaison to Hamlet of Carmel Civic Association and other government agencies, including county, state, and school districts, and the local Chamber of Commerce. I offer this resolution as read.
Okay, offered by Councilwoman McDonough.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Channel. Roll call vote.
Councilman Channel?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi? Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 13, is a resolution making a reappointment to Town of Carmel Planning Board. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby reappoints Craig Papria to the Town of Carmel Planning Board for a term commencing retroactive to January 1, 2021, and expiring on December 31st, 2027. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote.
Councilman Channel? Yes. Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 14, is a resolution appointing chairman of the Town of Carmel Planning Board. Councilman Borelli, would you read 14?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Craig Papier as chairman of the Town of Carmel Planning Board for the year 2021. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote.
Councilman Channel?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman
Great job.
Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 15, is a resolution appointing vice chairman to the Town of Carmel Planning Board. Councilman Lombardi, would you read 15?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Anthony Giannico as Vice Chairman of the Town of Carmel Planning Board for year 2021. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Is the board okay if we just do all in favor on these?
Yes.
Is there any, if there's anybody opposed to any of the appointments, just let me know.
We'll say it.
Or just say that you are. That's okay. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay. It's easier that way. So, 16 is a resolution making an appointment to the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals. Councilman Channel, would you read 16?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby reappoints John Maxwell to the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals for a term commencing retroactive to January 1st, 2021, and expiring on December 31st, 2025. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lombardi and Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? No, it's 5-0. Okay, next resolution, number 17, is a resolution making an appointment to the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 17?
Yes, resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby reappoints Silvio Balzano to the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals for a term commencing retroactive to January 1st, 2021, and expiring on December 31st, 2025. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Anybody opposed? No, carries 5-0. Okay, next resolution, number 18, is a resolution making an appointment to the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby reappoints Julie McKeon to the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals for a term commencing retroactive to January 1st, 2021, and expiring on December 31st, 2025. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi and Councilwoman McDonough. All board members in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Any opposed? No. There being none, it carries 5-0. Okay, next resolution, number 19, is a resolution appointing chairman to the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals. Councilman Borelli, would you read 19?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints John Maxwell as chairman of the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals for the year 2021. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, carries 5-0. Okay, next resolution, number 20, is a resolution appointing vice chairman to the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals. Councilman Lombardi, would you read 20?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby appoints Philip Baglietti as Vice Chairman of the Town of Carmel Zoning Board of Appeals for the year 2021. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, carries 5-0. Next resolution, number 22, is a resolution appointing vice chairman to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 22?
22?
I'm sorry.
No, 21.
21.
Right? Yeah.
Bob, would you just read 21?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Robert Laga as chairman of the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board for the year of 2021. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, seconded by
We got
Councilwoman. Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Carries 5-0. Okay, next resolution, number 22, is a resolution appointing vice chairman to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 22?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Nicholas Fannin as Vice Chairman of the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board for the year 2021. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Shannell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Next resolution, number 23, is a resolution setting salaries for fiscal year 2021 for certain officials of the Town of Carmel Town and for employees of the town not covered by a collective bargaining agreement. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby sets the salaries for fiscal year 2021 for the following officials and employees of the town not covered under the terms of a collective bargaining agreement: town justices, town engineer, town comptroller, receiver of taxes, deputy receiver of taxes, deputy highway superintendent, deputy town clerk, director of parks and recreation, town assessor, confidential secretary to the supervisor, assistant to the town board, clerks to the town justices, at the amount set forth in the 2021 budgeted as adopted. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Borelli. Councilwoman McDonough, roll call vote.
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, 24, is a resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign a stipulation changing salary group of park maintenance worker. Councilman Borelli, would you read 24?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the town supervisor to sign a stipulation of agreement retroactive to January 1st, 2021. Frank R. Favier, employee 1054, and Brendan Griffin, employee 1712, park maintenance workers, shall be placed at Step 1 of Salary Group 5, as specified in Appendix E of the collective bargaining agreement between the town and Local 840, CSCA, AFSCME, AFL-CIO, that expired on December 31st, 2017, and was modified and extended by a memorandum of agreement with the duration of January 1, 2018 to December 31st, 2021, the CBA, and shall be receive retroactive pay accordingly. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote.
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 25, is a resolution making probationary promotional appointment of account clerk to the Town of Carmel Building Department. Councilman Lombardi, would you read 25?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby appoints Carol Ormsby to the position of Account Clerk 2 in the Town of Carmel Building Department at a Group 4, Step 1 annual salary, effective immediately on a promotional probationary basis, subject to the provisions of civil service law and civil service rules and regulations. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote.
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, 26, is a resolution making appointments to the Town of Carmel Lake Cassie Park District Advisory Board. Councilman Shannell, would you read 26?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints the following residents to the Town of Carmel Lake Cassie Park District Advisory Board for a term commencing retroactive to January 1st, 2021, and expiring December 31st, 2021. John Aquina, Teresa DePace, Stacy Ann Kelly, Kim Kugler, William Siclari, Scott Sturbins. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
I'll second that also, because they do a great job. All those in favor of the appointments?
Aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? No, thank you, Lake Cassidy Park District. As I said, this committee is very active, and they do a fantastic job for the residents of the Lake Cassidy Park District, serving on that committee. So thank you. Okay, next, Resolution 27 is a resolution making appointments to the Town of Carmel Lake Mahopac Park District Advisory Board. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 27?
So resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints the following residents to the Town of Carmel Lake Mahopac Park District Advisory Board for a term commencing retroactive to January 1st, 2021, and expiring December 31st, 2021. Compton Spain, Jay Crawford, Charles Langlitz, James Maxwell, and Robert Frankel. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Second by Councilman Lombardi. Again, this Lake Mahopac Park District Advisory Board Committee, the gentleman that we just read, or Susie just read off, they do a fantastic job also. I think everybody would agree, caring for the Lake Mahopac. It's a big job, it's a lot of responsibility, and these guys have really stepped up to the plate and have shown that they care deeply about Lake Mahopac, and they're very, very proactive. So I'd like to thank this Lake Mahopac Park District Advisory Board for being as active as they are and for everything that they do. All those board members in favor of this reappointment?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, all five stated yes, there are no no's, so it carries 5-0. Okay, next, number 28. It's a resolution authorizing attendance of officers and employees to attend the Association of Towns virtual conference. Whereas the annual meeting and training school of the Association of Towns is to be held at all virtual educational and networking events from February 14th through the 17th, 2020. And whereas in the past, the information and training available at said meeting and seminars conducted there have proved to be helpful to town officers and employees in the performance of their duties, and is in the best interest of the Town of Carmel to have certain of its officers and employees attend such meetings and training schools. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorize the following officers and employees of the town to attend the Association of Towns all virtual educational conferences, and that the reasonable and necessary expenses of said persons be reimbursed by the town upon audit and approval by the town comptroller to the extent reserved in the 2021 conference and seminars line of the court budget. Following town members are Thomas Jacobellis, Town Justice; Daniel Miller, Town Justice; Patricia Jenna, Town Clerk, Court Clerk; Francine Szymanski, Senior Account Clerk; Maria Paparaki, Clerk to Town Justice; Lisa Lacrodara, Clerk to Town Justice. Be it further resolved that the entire Town Board of the Town of Carmel is also authorized to attend the Association of Towns all virtual educational conferences, and that their reasonable and necessary expenses be reimbursed by the town upon audit and approval by the town comptroller. I offer the resolution as read. All those in favor?
Second.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Seconded by Councilman Borelli. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
No.
No. Carries 5-0. Why did I give myself all the long resolutions to read tonight?
I was going to say that.
Just worked out well.
I should have set it up so I didn't have
You called.
these long ones. I did it to myself.
It's all year long, you don't read.
I know, geez. Okay, so next resolution, number 29, is a resolution designating Town of Carmel delegate at the 2021 Association of Towns Annual Business Session. Councilman Borelli, would you read 29, please?
Resolved that Councilman Robert Channel is hereby designated as the voting delegate, and Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby designated as the alternative voting delegate of the Town of Carmel to the 2021 Annual Business Session of the Association of Towns of the State of New York, to be held virtually from February 14th through the 17th, 2021, and are hereby authorized to cast a vote of the Town of Carmel pursuant to Section 6 of Article 3 of the Constitution and bylaws of said association. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi and Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? None. Carries 5-0.
I think I should get like a little bell for when I want a second, this way you make sure you hear it.
Yeah, I do hear you over there.
Okay, good.
Yeah, this
I can be
year-
louder if you'd like.
Yeah,
Now you know the feeling.
yeah, now I know it's feeling. All right, and Councilman Shannon, so you're going to have to be available
I'll be available.
virtually
I learned-
from
I
the
learned a lot last
14th
year.
through the 17th.
Very informative, great organization.
And your
vote.
vote's important. Your vote, the vote that you cast is very, very important to the Town Association of Towns Conference.
Thank
I've
you.
been there and done that, so.
Thank you.
All right. So if you can't make it, just let me know because I'm the alternate.
Okay.
All right, so next resolution, number 30, is a resolution adopting the Town of Carmel 2021 subject matter list and office retention schedule. Councilman Lombardi, would you read 30?
Resolved that upon the recommendation of Ann Spofford, Town Clerk, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby adopts the Town of Carmel 2021 subject matter list and record retention schedule as pre-filed with the Town Clerk. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannon?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 31, is a resolution establishing seasonal and temporary part-time workers at wage rates. Councilman Shannon, would you read 31?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby sets the seasonal/temporary/part-time workers' maximum wage rates for the following title effective retroactive to January 1st, 2021. Seasonal/temporary/part-time and time workers. Position and/or title would be seasonal and temporary, hourly wage rate based on cumulative hours of service. 0 to 500 starts at $12.50 and 1501 is $15.50. So there's 4 steps. Seasonal temporary would be $12.50, $13.50, $14.50, and $15.50. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannon?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Susie, on yours, on 32, you don't have to read all the minimums
know.
and the maximums.
Yeah.
There's only one, recycling.
Yeah, I
That-
got it.
All right.
I got it.
So, all right.
I see.
All right, next resolution, number 32, is a resolution setting rates for 2021 part-time and temporary help. Councilwoman McDonough, read 32, please.
Shall resolve that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby sets the following rates for part-time temporary help in the following departments for fiscal year 2021. The department is accounting, assessor, building, comptroller accounting, engineering planning, highway, justice court, police, recreation, supervisor, receptionist, tax receiver, and town clerk. The minimum for all of those departments are $13. The maximum is $30 an hour, and they all commensurate with experience. Then there's recycling, which the minimum is $12 an hour. The maximum is $15 an hour, also commensurates with experience. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Shannon. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannon?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yeah, yes, I just had one question. Greg, recycling all the way at the bottom, 12 an hour and 15 an hour. Who would actually be, who's considered recycling? What staff do
I
we
mean,
have?
you had
Is that
part-time
Parks?
staff years ago, I think that's carried through on that resolution. Remember, we had recycling employees.
Is there anyone from Parks and Recreation that is considered on the recycling schedule, salary?
This is only part-time, these are
Okay.
only part-time rates, but we did, there were times that the town did employ somebody part-time to handle recycling. Was it Bruce? Is it possible?
Yeah, it could have been.
So I think that's why it's carried through in case
Yeah.
you need it.
You can actually leave it on,
Yeah.
because this
Leave
way
it
when
on.
you
I'll
have
leave it on.
the shredded and the IT day over there with the
Yeah.
garbage, you can hire somebody part-time to help load it all up.
All right, the only reason why I ask is that there was one young man that helped me out during the e-waste collection date. He broke his butt over there, he really did. And I should have asked him about, or maybe I did, I'm not sure. And I had said to him, how much are you getting paid by the hour? And he said he was.
I thought you said I couldn't get paid for that day.
That's, well, no, that wasn't you.
Oh,
But the young man did such a great job that I thought he was probably worthy of, because we did make adjustments to a couple of the other park maintenance workers. We did some salary group changes or a step change. And I thought about that, and I believe that Jim is paying him what he can, up to $15 an hour. But I got to tell you, the way that kid worked that day, and if he works like that every day, you know, I would consider increasing his hourly rate to 17 an hour. But he's probably maxed out at 15 and he can't.
Unless you amend the resolution
Yeah, I know.
to reflect that
But then,
maximum.
Kenny, if you
We can
open up
revi-
one, you got to
But
open
it's
it
the-
up,
but that's the
everybody.
only one that's the only one that's, you know, really on the lower end. But the others can go up to 30, all the others. His is capped at 15, if it's who I'm thinking of. But I'll have a separate conversation with Jim, with the Recreation Director, and if we consider doing something, we can always go back and amend it at some point, all right?
Budget time.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so did we do a roll call vote?
We did.
We did, thank you. Sorry for going off on that, it's just that I think he was the one that I was referring to. But- All right, next resolution, number 30.
Was it Sean?
No, it wasn't Sean. No, it was Jason. So, all right, next resolution, number 34, is a resolution,
33.
I'm sorry, 33. Resolution making appointments to the Recreation and Parks Advisory Committee. That's me. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby reappoints Ray Gallagher, Michael Mongan, Neil Sullivan to the Town of Carmel Recreation and Parks Advisory Committee for term retroactive to January 1st, 2021 and expiring December 31st, 2023. I offer the resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Councilman Channel and Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor on this one?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? None opposed, it carries 5-0. Okay, now next resolution, 34, is a resolution extending contract for cleaning of police uniforms. Councilman Borelli, would you read 34?
Yes, excuse me. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel has previously authorized the award of bid and contract for cleaning of the Town of Carmel police uniforms. And whereas said contract contains an option in favor of the Town of Carmel to extend the terms of said contract for a period of time through and including December 31st, 2021. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Lieutenant John Dearman, hereby authorizes the extension of said contract with Mayapack Laundry and Dry Cleaners, 960 Route 6N, Mayapack, New York, a period through and including December 31st, 2021, at a price of $2.95 per unit. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi and Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Channel?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 35, resolution authorizing the scheduling of a public hearing for fire protection contracts and ambulance district contracts. And the date for that public hearing will be February 3rd of 2021. Councilman Lombardi, would you read 35?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the scheduling of a public hearing on fire protection contracts and the ambulance district contracts for the year 2021 to be held on the third day of February 2021 at Carmel Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mayapack, New York, at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter that evening as possible. Said contracts to be advertised and posted as follows, and there's 3 columns: contractor, services, not to exceed amount. The first is Mayapack Falls Volunteer Fire Department, Inc., Fire Protection District Number 1, not to exceed $806,500. Next is Mayapack Volunteer Fire Department, Inc., Fire Protection District Number 2, not to exceed $1,395,000. Carmel Fire District and Carmel Fire Department, Inc., Fire Protection District Number 3, not to exceed $862,500. Next, Carmel Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Ambulance Services, Carmel Ambulance District Number 1, not to exceed $200,000. And next is North Salem Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Ambulance Services, Carmel Ambulance District Number 1, not to exceed $13,000. Be it further resolved, the Town Clerk Ann Spofford is hereby authorized to publish a notice of the public hearing in the official newspapers of the Town of Carmel, to post a notice of said hearing on the bulletin board of the town. Said notice is to be published and posted at a minimum of 10 days prior to the hearing. I offer the resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough and Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote?
Councilman Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried, thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 36, is a resolution for review and renewal of the Town of Carmel procurement policy. Councilman Shannon, would you read 36?
Whereas Section 104B of the General Municipal Law requires the governing body of every municipality to annually review their official procurement policy for the purchase of all goods and services which are not required by law to be publicly bid. And whereas the Town Board deems that no revisions are necessary at this time, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby renews the procurement policy which is attached hereto and made a part of hereof, and designates the Town Comptroller's Office to distribute the policy to all department heads, and be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby designates the responsible purchasing agents and titles as set forth within the aforesaid policy. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes, this is the new revised procurement
Yeah,
policy.
we added the chief's name.
With pleasure.
Just, yeah, that's the only change, Mike, is the new chief. Yeah. Right. Who seconded that?
Me.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannon voted yes. Councilman Borelli voted yes. I was up to Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, the 37th and final resolution for tonight is a resolution authorizing awarding of a contract for the purchase of motor vehicle fuel for the Town of Carmel Police Department. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 37?
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Lieutenant John R. Dearman, Jr., hereby authorizes the award of bid contract for purchase of motor vehicle fuel for the Town of Carmel Police Department for the period commencing retroactive to December 18th, 2020 through December 16th, 2021, to Global Montello Group Corp., Waltham, MA, under New York State Office of General Services Contract Number 05600, Award Number 23092, at the per-gallon price of 2.2141 for regular grade, 2.2690 for mid-range grade, and 2.3578 for premium grade. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. So that completes the agenda items for this organizational meeting. This is our annual business meeting of the year. As I stated earlier, we do it as the first meeting in the new year to conduct our establish and name our official business, make reappointments to the various administrative boards. We generally don't have this many resolutions, but on the organizational meeting we do, and it's a little shorter this year than it was last year. Next year at this time, it's going to be longer because there's other business that has to be done, and there's probably 50-some-odd resolutions then. So appreciate your indulgence and your patience with us reading these 37 resolutions. So at this time, I'm going to open up the floor to any public comment on the agenda items that we covered this evening. Come on up. Just state your name. We know who you are.
I know.
State your name.
Tom Iannicari from Allen Twitty Insurance and advisor to Bowen Son Insurance.
Tom, welcome. Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too, guys. I'm about Resolution 8. I know I come here every year and say this, but this year I want to echo what Councilman Borelli was his no vote on that resolution for the very same reasons that it does put out a message of discouragement to other sources of insurance for the municipality policies. I mean, why really, resolve that there is an insurance agent that was, appointed. They were appointed April 1st when the policy renewed. So I don't know of any other town that does that, but basically that's the reality. Nymer, who is your current insurance company, they have changes. coming. You know, there's a firming up of the insurance market overall, but in municipality situations, NYMER actually is starting to cut back on some limits, one of them being the law enforcement liability and some other restrictions. But as per the state comptroller's report, that town procured over $870,000 from 16 vendors for services. I'm sure most of that was probably your insurance account. Transparency is very important with regards to these policies. Requires closed bids by a deadline and sent to all board members and the comptroller, versus how it was done last year, which was an open bid behind closed doors. This is why, and this perplexes me to this day, this is why $40,000 of the taxpayers' money was left on the table that day. Because the incumbent agency, who was faced with an extremely quality and affordable insurance package from Travelers Insurance, which was $125,000 less than the town was paying at the time. Yet NYMER stayed in place in exchange for reducing the premium by only $80,000. Further, is the ethical idea that an agency is providing you insurance that's actually owned by the insurance company. They are contract bound to only offer you NYMER. Whereas I and my associate RJ Impastato from Foe & Son are independent. We have several companies in our pockets. I'm asking this board to do the right thing by the citizens that pay for all this, and for April 1st expiration, immediately call for a proper competitive bidding process. And I have a foil here, which I'll be glad to give to Ms. Spofford to process. That's it.
Okay, Tom. Yeah.
Can I just want to mention something, and I could be totally wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we met with you and the other insurance companies to go over the bids, and they were, from what the comptroller said, they weren't apples to apples. And if I'm not mistaken, the comptroller asked your company to come back with information that, so it's apples to apples, meaning what the town needs, what the comptroller advised, what the town needs. And from what I remember, we sat there and it wasn't. And both you guys came in and explained it, and then we had another insurance company come in and explain it. Then we had our comptroller come in and explain it. And that's why we went through. So I just don't like when you said that, I don't know, you didn't say we weren't transparent, but we did something that would make the public see that we did something wrong. We didn't, Tom. We had you and your company in there. We had the other people in there, whoever wanted to come in, and it was the comptroller who we took the advice from.
I respectfully say that any time we were asked to provide explanations or changes, we complied. Many of the things that you're referring to are because Travelers offered the same as you had and more and better.
You know what? I think we should have the
And I
discussion
don't know,
when another
I can't say that
when the comptroller can be
I
here.
can't say that the comptroller is an
Because
actual
Marianne has to
expert
be here.
on insurance.
But
But if we had had that open discussion, I think it would have been clearer with her in the room.
Let's have a discussion with Marianne, but I believe everything was discussed and everything was, just so the public knows, we did not do anything wrong. We had people come in, we asked questions, we had the comptroller there. I don't want this year is my year of not misleading anybody and not allowing anybody out there to mislead that we're doing something wrong. It's not, we didn't do anything wrong, but I'd like it when Marianne is here and she could she may be able to answer the questions that you're giving. Okay?
There were issues with coverage limits on specific items in the budget that Susie's right, where the coverage wasn't what the comptroller felt we should have within the town. There were less coverage limits on certain aspects of the policy, and they were below what NYMER covers now, and that Travelers couldn't meet those coverage limits or coverage lines in the budget. So there was a discrepancy or an issue where it wasn't apples for apples. It was actually much less than what we felt that we would have been comfortable with, that we're receiving now from NYMER. I think that's what the issue was, Tom.
Right.
Is that there was certain coverages that couldn't be met by travelers that are being met by NYMER. So
But that
I'm not-
doesn't mean this
I'm not
coming
aware of
year-
any of those from my recollection, and RJ could tell me better. But
Yeah, but Tom, this coming year, come in, you
Right,
know,
come back
again,
again.
and talk to them. We always like competitive people.
Tom, I
come
have
in.
one recollection.
yes,
My recollection is after you guys came in with a bid, NYMER went down several $100,000. That's the bottom line. Okay? They didn't go down 10,000, 50,000, 100,000.
They came down
They went down
80,000.
about $325,000.
no, they went down 80 grand.
No, the year before, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Mary Ann should
So
be here
totally
to
over
talk
2
on
years,
this.
about $400,000.
Yeah. That can be improved, both bottom line and coverage. And some of the coverages you may or may, be recalling were probably maybe even minor situations that were actually covered, more so than you might have thought, because sometimes what these policies do is they have limits on certain things, and they may not look like enough, but then there's an aggregate that covers it. So probably, I would have to say, honestly, the travelers probably would have blown away NYMER on many things.
So this year, Tom, what we'll do is we'll go out to bid. We'll bid it again.
Again, we
And
have been busy.
It's
well,
an
I would
RFP.
invite you to,
What?
you
It's
and
an
RJ.
RFP. It's
What's
an
that?
RFP. It's not a public works
RFP?
project. It's an
Okay.
RFP. Okay, and that's why you were allowed to sit down with the vendors to talk about their prices. You can't do that with a bid. And when you get the sealed bids, and that's it. Okay, when you've made a decision, whatever decision you make, on an insurance policy that you're going to purchase, the things that go into it, not just the cost of the premium, there's claims decisions, there's claims administration, there's coverage limits. And that's part of the decision-making process. It's not all what the number is at the bottom line. And that's part of what you're going to consider when you do that last year. I think you did the last 2 years.
2 years,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you'll do it again this year. And I'm
Right.
sure that you'll be faced with that information and consider it, and you'll make your decision based on that.
Yeah, we'll continue to do it, Tom. Thank you.
So if you put out a bid, we'll definitely be there.
Well, it'll be an RFP. It's not a bid.
RFP.
It'll be an RFP.
Not a problem.
We're requesting proposals, and we invite you to be there, participate.
Absolutely.
We look forward to it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Tom. Have a good night. Okay, so being there isn't anyone else here that may want to come up and comment, Tom, you're not here for the open forum, are you, new business portion of the meeting?
I do have a few questions on legislative matters.
On legislative matters?
Well, on projects, actually.
Oh, come on up then. Yeah, you should have stayed up there.
See,
Now it's Tom I from the Chamber's Legislative Advocacy Board. We've been actually approached by a lot of our members, Larry and I, and people are starting to now ask questions. What's going on with this? What's going on with that? One of them is, what is the status of the Swan Cove project, and afterwards the balance of the sidewalk project that will follow after the parking's up?
Okay, I'll answer your first question with respect to the Swan Cove municipal parking lot, the downtown revitalization project. It's moving forward. Inside Engineering just finished up Phase 2 of the work that they were contracted to do, and most of that involved engineering and technical work on the site. They're currently working on the Phase 3 portion of their award of their contract, and that deals with conceptual elements of the projects. So they're working on that now. What I mean by conceptual elements is what is the park going to look like? What amenities are going to be in the park? What is the municipal parking lot going to look like? Are you going to have traffic islands in there? Are they going to be, is there going to be a certain motif that you're going to follow with stone walls and things like that and lighting? So they're currently working on that, and it includes the sidewalks in downtown Mahopac as well. And also, so
Includes
any,
the parking too, right, Kenny?
Right.
Tom, not the parallel parallel parking. It
Yeah.
includes that as
Well,
well.
Actually,
Eliminating-
that's a good move. It really-
Yeah.
It's a safety move.
Yeah,
so
Well
phase
overdue.
phase three should be wrapped up within the next couple of weeks. And I believe there's the public at that point is going to have input on it.
Present the concept to you.
And then
Yeah.
you're going to decide on a final design idea.
So this phase, this portion of it is extremely important.
Right.
Because this is what we want to incorporate and what the public wants to incorporate into this project and what they want. So this is where the feedback from the public, the chamber, the residents, the business owners, the feedback from them is extremely important in this phase of it. Because this is, when we finalize the concept of it, what we want it to look like. So that's what it's going to go out to bid for then, as far as
I
architectural.
would assume that at that point, you'll probably have a public hearing or two
Yes.
for comments, et cetera, because one of
Yes.
our team members has specifically twice asked me, when can we see a design? I said, well, I don't know what stage you're at.
we haven't seen it
We
either.
haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
We have an idea
Yeah.
of what it might look
Hopefully
like.
this month.
But this month, we'll have that from Inside Engineering, and they're doing a great job on it. So, hopefully, once
Could
we
we
get that.
expect public hearings to be announced like February, March?
Yeah, we'll,
I would think
Yes.
February.
Yeah, February
No,
for
oh, no,
sure.
because there's time limits, right, Greg?
So the public hearing part, I'm sure you're going to have informational meetings that are open to the public.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes time to do additional borrowing, that's going to require a public hearing anyway. But the borrowing will be when you finalize the design and prior to putting it out to bid, so the money's in place. So I would think by mid-year
Yeah.
for
So-
that.
So, Tom, more so informational meetings for the public to give the input.
feedback, for
Right,
for
exactly.
feedback on what,
Sure, we'll be coming together in the next 90 days with the feedback from the public, once we get Jeff's drawings here. And the answer to your second question about parking and, the sidewalks, well, hands are tied, really can't do the sidewalks. Getting rid of the.
You'd have to wait
angle
till the lot
parking
is finished.
Until the
Right.
parking lot is built.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
within the next 90 days, a lot of information is going to be coming out.
And, I believe that we could be able to organize the business owners and landlords of that downtown area to make sure they attend the informational meeting, since it directly
oh,
impacts them.
absolutely. Yeah.
That would be nice, and I would.
The
think
chamber
we'd be
will
expecting-
help you with that. I mean,
Good.
just,
Yeah.
we're
I agree
available.
with Mike.
A- As
Yes.
a,
That's expected.
as a landlord, that's expected. If I had a municipal parking lot being built next to my building or around the corner from my building, I'd be at that meeting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so another point of question has been, what's being done, what's happening with the sewer project down Route 6? I know you're talking to New York City and all that, but where's that at?
Well, we have a meeting scheduled for next week with the Deputy Commissioner of the New York City DEP. And,
We're going to continue discussions where we left them
yeah,
off.
discussions, I looked over at council because I didn't want to say anything that was probably I shouldn't say.
You got it.
Yeah.
But we are.
If you tell me, you might have to kill me. I got you.
Well, so discussions are underway.
Yeah.
And we've had very encouraging talks with the DEP with respect to the Mayapack wastewater treatment plant, which is right across the street from the town hall. We've had very encouraging dialogue, and I'll say that New York City, and I probably won't get in trouble for this, but New York City DEP is very receptive to our discussions, and I'm going to leave it at that.
That's fine.
Okay.
At least we know what's
So
going
we're hoping that moving forward that we will have some type of,
Because I know how important it is to the master plan,
Yes.
having infrastructure in place, or a plan to put in place. Which leads me actually to a discussion I think that you guys had recently, and I know it was, we had it discussed last year, a serious discussion on a townwide CapEx improvement program. Look at all the money we're pouring into sewer and water repairs. They need to be, maybe the whole system needs to be upgraded. It would probably be less to replace it than to keep patching it up and improving capacities and stuff. So we just leave you that point to, in the year to come. Finally, I've been asked by a member, what is the status of the distillery that's being approved?
Okay, so the Alexandrian group from Romania, they're the ones who are proposing to open the distillery at that site of the old Paladin Center, which was the guidepost location. They bought the property. So they own the land. They bought it 2 years ago. They've been paying taxes on it for 2 years. So from what I'm told by Mike Carnazzo, our building and codes enforcer, is that they are moving forward with plans to develop that site, although they have pulled back somewhat on the timeline for them actually breaking ground on the site because of COVID. The pandemic has affected virtually everything, and including that project. But they are very enthusiastic about building it there. They've told Mike, the engineers and the architects involved in that project for the Alexandrian Group have told Mike that they are absolutely moving forward with the project. So they have plans to construct it there.
So they're all approved?
They're approved.
Okay.
Yeah, they're approved, you know, and the only question was they were actually moving forward with it at a much faster pace before COVID, and then COVID hit, and the pandemic slowed everybody down, including that.
That's understandable.
And the last
So
thing-
they are planning to move forward with that, Tom,
Yeah.
and they're very excited about it. They're enthusiastic about opening it here in Carmel, and we look forward to
Yeah, I've
that.
met them, they're nice people.
So the building plans have been submitted.
Okay, good.
You know, they have a demolition permit for the existing building where they're going to have to do some work to the current site. So they have most everything ready to go.
Cool.
It's just a matter of when they're
Glad
gonna
to
move
hear
forward.
it.
Yep.
Great
Yeah.
jobs and other services.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
All right,
Tom.
Tom, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Okay, so town board members, yeah, I did get the information about the Christmas trees, Frank. I'll announce that. So Christmas tree pickup for the town of Carmel residents by AAA Carting are the following days and dates. So if your garbage is picked up on Mondays and Thursdays, so if your container's out on the street for Monday and Thursday's pickups, your Christmas tree pickup will be on January 13th, 2021. So only those that have Monday and Thursday trash pickup, put your tree out at the curb on January 13th, and AAA will pick it up and dispose of it. For those who, like myself, whose trash is picked up on Tuesdays and Fridays, January 22nd. Is that a 2, Sue? Or 0?
120.
120. I didn't write it. She did, so. So Tuesdays and Friday pickups, your tree will be out at the curb on January 20th for disposal. So Mondays and Thursdays, January 13th, Tuesdays and Friday, January 20th. Have it out at the curb where you would put your tote, and they'll remove your tree. Yeah, by that
So
day.
it's
Yeah,
the
have it
5th
out there by that day, yeah.
15th and the 20th.
Yeah, 13th and the 20th. yeah.
13th and the 20th.
13th and the 20th. Mondays and Thursdays pickups the 13th, Tuesdays and Friday picks up the 20th. Have it out at the curb. I would put it out that night before, just to make sure that it's out there when they show up to remove it. And that's all I have for right now. So I just want to state this, that we have a lot to do this year. There's a lot going on in town. The comprehensive plan, the master plan, and the code revisions is ongoing. There's going to be important dates that you want to, Susie's going to announce those dates that the public is going to want to be aware of and participate in. This is for the comprehensive plan. This is the blueprint for the town of Carmel moving forward 10 years, 15 years. I hope it doesn't go 20 years, because I think the 20-year one that we're currently in went too long. So it's probably 10 years is the better time frame that you want to master plan. So that's in the works. We have the downtown Mahopac revitalization projects. We spoke a little bit about that. The Swan Cove site, which is going to be a town park. The municipal parking lot is where the Mahopac Bank Chamber of Commerce building was located, will be a municipal parking lot. And the downtown improvement projects, the sidewalks that we spoke about earlier, lighting for downtown. So those are big projects that are moving forward that we're going to need to focus on and get done. And I don't want to leave out the hamlet of Carmel, Carmel Water District 2. Those improvement projects up there are many. A new water treatment plant is proposed for Carmel Water 2. Water distribution mains and relining are ongoing.
The tank?
The tank rehabilitation projects, 2 up in the hamlet of Carmel, 2, Greg, or 3? 3 up in the hamlet, right? 3 water storage tanks up in the hamlet that are going to be refurbished. There's a couple of down here also, but the hamlet of Carmel Water District 2 projects, the residents up there have been very patient, and they're supportive of improving the quality of water up in the hamlet area, but it's very costly. It's a very, very expensive project. The water treatment plant, the water distribution system, the water tanks are in the $35 million or higher range. Yeah, it's happening. Yeah, it's happening. Greg, our town council, is working on properties that we've looked at, that we're considering for the water treatment plant, because the current site where the current plant is, we can't construct, it's not big enough to construct a new treatment plant on that parcel and keep the old plant up and running until the new one can go online. So we have looked at some sites. Town council is researching those and reviewing those. And Greg, you'll have a report back to the board?
I will. Actually, when you did the facility study, Hazen and Sawyer did identify at least 2 parcels in the vicinity of the existing treatment plant that would be suitable for construction of the new plant while you were decommissioning the old one. So the board's authorized the progress to move on that, as well as the distribution system relining and replacement. That's probably going to go out to bid in the first quarter of the year. So you can expect that work to actually start probably by mid-year for that. There's a lot of activity.
Okay, and the sites that have been identified for the treatment plant, that's something that you'll get back to us on?
Absolutely. You authorized it, I think, the last meeting of the year. I have done the title work had the title work done on the owners, and there's a process to acquiring it, a couple of methods, whether it can be done by negotiation or whether it's something that you need to take for a public purpose, and I'll be reporting as to which of those you need to do.
Okay, all right. So a lot going on. The wastewater treatment plant, as we spoke about earlier, that New York City currently owns, we are very much interested in taking that over as the town of Carmel facility. So talks are underway. We're hopeful that we'll have some type of agreement in place by midway through the year, perhaps towards the end of the year, so we can move forward with that. The Lake Lanida litigation with respect to the New York City charging us for drinking water from Lake Lanida, discussions and legal litigation is ongoing with that as well. Our counsel's involved in that. I'm not going to ask you for an update on that, Greg, because it involves...
We were told we were going to have a decision on an administrative appeal we took earlier in 2020 by the end of the year. We did not get it by the 31st, but that's going to dictate your next move in terms of the water district's payment to the water board of the prevailing rates for excess and entitlement water. Hopefully we'll have that determination here in the next couple of weeks. He did promise it by the end of the year, so I'm assuming I'll see it by the end of January, maybe early February,
Okay.
and then I'll advise the board then.
All right, thank you. So, board, as you know, and as you heard tonight, we have a lot of ambitious goals and a lot of projects that we're working on, and hopefully we'll get a lot done with those projects. And we have an excellent town board. We work well together, and I like to see that we continue to work well together as a unit, as a group, as a board, because we really need input from everybody, and we need participation from everybody to get the things done we want to get done. So I appreciate that as the supervisors, that I have a board that I could work with, and we could get projects moving along and, complete some things so we could check them off our list. But we have a lot to do. So I just wanted to state that. So thank you. Anybody else?
Kenny, I had one thing. I guess we would be remiss if we started the year off without mentioning the passing of Harold Gary, our longtime chairman of the planning board for the town of Carmel, who passed away during the holidays, right after Christmas, I believe. Harold was chairman of the planning board for over 32 years, if I remember correctly, 32. And he was here a long time. He served the town. He served the county. He was chairman while I was on the planning board as well. And one thing about Harold, I think everybody would agree, he was a true gentleman. And no matter how big the size of the room was, he was always the smartest man in the room. But the thing about Harold is, he would never let you know it, but he was. And he will be missed by many people. He had a unique history here in this town, and he was a mentor to a lot of people, and he will be missed.
All right. Thank you for that, Frank. And I also want to add that one of our longtime police officers who retired and moved upstate just passed away within the past few days. I had the privilege of working with him, alongside of him for 20 years on the Carmel Police Department. That's Paul O'Connor. He tragically passed away 2 days ago, Mike? 3 days ago? 3 days ago. He was an excellent police officer. He cared deeply about the town of Carmel community, and he did a tremendous job. I can attest to that because I worked with him, and I know he helped a lot of folks in this community in a lot of different ways, and Paul's going to be missed. He was a gentleman and a friend and an excellent police officer for the town of Carmel, and where I was saddened to hear that he passed away.
Great guy that loved this town.
Yeah.
He was a great guy that loved this town and was a good cop.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, so we're sorry to hear that. On a good note, a positive note, our new chief, Tony Hoffman. Chief Hoffman started on Monday, and he hit the ground running. He's been in his office nonstop. He came up to see me a couple of times. He's met with the comptroller's office. I think he met with some of the other departments as well, just to familiarize himself with them, and so they get to know him and he gets to know them. Talked a little bit about the procurement policy and things like that. So he's doing a great. He's going to do a great job. He is doing a good job, and as I said earlier, I think he's a good fit for the town of Carmel Police Department, and I know he's going to do good things. So welcome, Tony, and have a great career here. So, does the board have anything else to say that they want to say? Okay. All right. So that's it for tonight's meeting. We're going to meet back here again next Wednesday, the 13th, for a town board work session, right? Town board work session at 7 p.m. on the 13th, right back here. There may come a time, and I'll just state this tonight, depending on the COVID positivity rate, if it continues to climb and the test positive cases for COVID continue to increase and spike in the town of Carmel, because we've seen an increase over the past few weeks, if that continues, we may make the decision, or I'm going to poll the board and find out how they feel about going back to, at least temporarily, to virtual meetings on the Zoom platform. I mean, we'll have that conversation, but I just want you to know that I'm on a weekly conference call with the Putnam County Department of Health and others, and I've been paying very close attention, I know Frank has also, to the COVID-19 pandemic and how it's affecting the town of Carmel. But it is spiking, sadly. The numbers are increasing, and people continue to wear your masks. I can't emphasize that enough. Even if you know the people you're with, wear the masks. I took mine off because we're far enough apart, and to be honest with you, if I wear this, it fogs up my glasses, so I really can't see. So that's why I took it off tonight, and I apologize for that. But wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance, and be very, very careful, because it's very active right now. After the holidays, there's been increases in COVID cases. So we're going to weigh it out. We'll make a decision, as things move forward, on whether or not we're going to go back to virtual or not. But right now, we're going to still meet in person. If that changes, we'll let the public know. All right, so I need a motion to close the meeting.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Borelli, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
He didn't say a word.
Well,
He didn't say a word.
And Councilman Lombardi. All those in favor? Aye. Good night, everyone. Be well. We'll see you next week on the 13th for a work session. Stay safe.